Hey, welcome to Ice Age 2, the drive day. Look at the Maverick here. The Maverick Bullhorns. Look at that. These things actually played out okay for me. Used a bunch of wire ties here and broken the grill yet. And how about this, man? I tell you, Little Maverick is so great. I'm seeing 30 miles per gallon today with this cap on. I got to 31. So anybody here wondering, I've had a lot of people inquire about this cap, and I'm going to tell you what, I'm not seeing any decrease in fuel mileage. I think I'm getting a little better mileage. I mean, that's probably far-fetched, but at the same time, this cap is not taking any fuel mileage away, handling anything. And anyways, I was driving around the Maverick, using this vehicle. Man, I just love this vehicle. This vehicle is just so practical. And it really is. I mean, just is a great overall work truck for me to work out of. Great fuel economy. So right now 29.4, but a little earlier I was over 30, but I've been in stop and go traffic. I've been idling. A lot of things going on. So far, so what am I doing now, right? What's going on now? I'm gonna get out of this space because people here want to get in and get gas and blah, 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 and blah, 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 right? So anyways, yeah, I'm out and about. And I found a Grand Cherokee wagon from a local dealer here. And actually, it's a dealer that years ago I wouldn't even go to. I would not. They've been bought out. This dealer, it's a cheap Dodge Ram dealer down here in Woodbridge, Virginia. And years ago, such a shady operation. 10 years ago, you probably go 10 years ago, I went to this location. And it was just the worst thing that I dealt with in my own experience of buying a vehicle. And the location was it's called Lustine Dodge Toyota. And ironically enough, I found my brother a really nice used truck at this location back in the early 80s. Oh, it's still here. Okay, so a gentleman here is saying right now, the sales guy, and I'm just going to head his way and let him know I'm going to go check out this vehicle. Probably just got in. This dealership just got in a Grand Wagoneer 2 Series, not the 3 Series, which is kind of nice because it's not the hilted out, most expensive model you can get. And I'll tell you what, it's so crazy in how these cars are. You got to plug in. This inside this Maverick is you have to plug in to this head in order for Waze. It doesn't have the wireless Waze. Kind of surprising because all the new Ford vehicles really are coming out with the wireless Bluetooth Waze capability, and for this vehicle here you still have to plug in the hard cable to get the Waze to populate. Anyways, this gentleman just said the vehicle is ready as far as being available. It's not an order from a customer, and it's got the V6 Hurricane twin turbo motor. So I want to go over there and drive the vehicle. And while I'm driving over, I can still talk about the Maverick kind of, the Maverick. Once again, I've really done a lot of reviews. Even this little Maverick truck, I think, is just an incredible value. And I'm sure people know that because people go look for them. You can't get them. And do I miss my carbonized one? Yeah, it was kind of neat having 2 of them. I mean, sincerely, if I really wanted a second one, I could. But that never played out the way I thought it was. I bought 2 Mavericks. I had 2 Mavericks, and I really thought my wife would take this one and kind of drive it, but she likes the Ford Ranger better, the Tremor Ford Ranger. She likes that better than this Maverick. I'm blown away because the Ford Tremor, the Ford Ranger Tremor, you have to kind of jump into the vehicle. You have to crawl. You really have to lift yourself up. This vehicle here, you just slide in, slide out, and that's what's so nice about these Ford Maverick vehicles is you literally just slide in, slide out. And it's not a real big vehicle, so it's very easy to maneuver. Incredible fuel. It's very respectable power. I mean, it's not a powerhouse, but considering what you have, it really is a great vehicle that allows you. Vehicle will do highway speeds and stay with everybody, and but it's not a rocket ship. Cylinder turbo motor, so what do you expect, right? But just overall, the ride and the confidence. And I was even, when I first got this from my dad back last August, I kind of drove it. I was the first to kind of say, I don't know, is this really what I thought it would be? Is it really a decent work vehicle? And now that I've brought it up north, because my dad, here's the thing. My dad would rather have the Ranger. It's so incredible on how this vehicle, the Maverick, has taken away the Ford Ranger sales. And what's weird about that is I have 2 Ford Rangers, and between my wife and my father, they have driven the Maverick, and they go back to the Ranger. They'd rather have the Ranger. Isn't that something? But yet, if you talk to a sales guy at a Ford dealership, they're going to tell you the average guy walking the door looking for a mid-sized, a small pickup truck is going to tell you that they have a guy that shows up that wants the Maverick. And they don't have any, but they got Ford Rangers sitting on the lot that people won't buy. Yes, that's factual. But for my father and wife, they prefer the Ranger over the Maverick. Wow. And for me as an individual, I prefer the Maverick. The Maverick's much more fuel efficient, but the Maverick is conservative 10 miles per gallon, more fuel efficient. I'll go 8 miles per gallon. The Ford Ranger, you're gonna get like 18 to 20 miles per gallon. And I'm talking about the 4-wheel drive. I'm not talking about the 2-wheel drive real base model. I'm saying the 4-cylinder, the nice package, the Lariat, done up, the Tremor, nice tires, wheels. You're gonna be like 18 to 20 miles a gallon at best. This vehicle here, I see a solid 28 miles a gallon. I mean, it jumps around, but overall, it's like 28 miles a gallon. It's 30 if you're doing highway traveling, 30, 31. I was seeing 31 this morning, close to 32. But that's just at nice speeds. Once you get up in the high speeds, I noticed when I did a job last week, and it was about a 250 mile day, and I was doing high speeds. Yeah, it's a 25, 26 mile per gallon vehicle if you're going to be hitting the high speeds. You can stay in the 55 to 60 mile range, 65 maybe. You're definitely going to be about that 30 mile per gallon. So, and once again, and if you follow my YouTube channel, I'm a car fanatic, car nut, and the Ford Maverick, for me, wins over any small truck, even to the point that this vehicle here pulls 4,000 pounds. If you watch my videos, you'll see a tow video of me towing my motorcycle trailer. And if I remember right, I was at like 12 miles per gallon. I even thought to myself, wow, this would be a respectable vehicle to take back to Florida to pick up my utility vehicle, my utility trailer with my other motorcycles. And being that it's an open trailer, I'd be willing to bet I would get maybe 18 miles a gallon, maybe. I mean, I'm thinking maybe pushing it. I'd be willing to bet I get 15. It'd be borderline double, maybe triple of what my Ford Raptor did. Yeah, but the problem with that is you go down with this truck and sits in the driveway. That's one reason my dad kind of parted with his vehicle, because the association was getting after him with this thing sitting in the damn driveway. It just doesn't end. The communist homeowners associations, yeah. So anyways, but all right, so the Ford Maverick, maybe you have to look for a Ford Maverick. I think you'll be very impressed. There's no way I would convince you that this is going to replace the full-size truck. No way. There's just no way. Is it going to replace the Ford Ranger? It can if you're not needing a bigger bed. This only downside of this vehicle, you do have a small bed. It works for me, but it's a little shallower. It's a little smaller. So if you really need a bigger bed, then yeah, the Ford Ranger is going to be... the Ford Ranger is a great vehicle as well. So for me, it's a win. And for the most part, they hold their value. I mean, they really do. They still have a really good, strong resale value. So you buy one and you don't even like it, I can't see you taking a big hit. You're going to take a hit, but at the same time, I don't think it's going to be huge. But I don't know. Once you drive the vehicle, I'd have a hard time believing you couldn't come to closure to just test drive the vehicle, that this is really what you think it is. It's not a truck. It doesn't drive like a truck. It drives more like to me, an SUV type of vehicle. That's the underpinnings. To me, what is this thing? Is it sharing the underpinnings of the Escape or something? I'm not really sure. Boy, it's incredible. I haven't been to this dealership that's been bought out by a bigger organization for so many years. What's really interesting is, This is Oarsman now, Dodge. And so many years ago, when I used to buy all my Toyotas and get Kuhns Tyson's Toyota, the key guy that ran that dealership, incredible good guy, Jack, he left and he was promoted into the Oarsman organization to be a president. And what he did is he took away all the really good people from Kuhns Tyson's Toyota. I mean, he really took away all my people that I used to deal with. And it'd be really funny if I walked into this Kuhns Jeep in Woodbridge, Virginia, and all of a sudden I see these guys that I know from Kuhns Tyson's Toyota. That would be pretty strong. The only reason I say that is because key individuals, if I really ever did want to get serious about this vehicle, you got to have the right finance people in order to make things go. I'm just no way. The finance people, the bankers, they see me. I'm always buying stuff. So to them, if they don't know who I am, and you don't have somebody that really knows me, they just don't want to put their name on the. This whole area is totally being redone, and it's all about the traffic. They're revitalizing this whole Route 1. This whole Route 1 area is just so old and outdated, and so they're redoing the roads and they're updating the shopping centers and all that good stuff. But at the same time, for the most part here, I don't think I'm going to get slammed into these guys. There's old Hendrick Honda. They went across the street. Okay, yeah, I just haven't been down. It's pretty incredible, me being in business. I just don't really go in this market. I'm just kind of got away from this area. It's the traffic, it's the road infrastructure, it's just a lot of things. And anyway, so here's the dealership over here. And yeah, thank God. If it wasn't under new ownership, there's no way I would go to this Lustine. It used to be called Lustine. What I was saying earlier is this Toyota dealership, this is back in like 83. I think I found my brother a really nice Chevy two-door short bed truck, and he just loved that thing. Okay, cool. Can I turn here? I guess. It's so confusing. Wow, just incredible. Yeah, so I found him a really nice Chevy two-door, blue and white Chevy truck, stick shift, right at this dealership here. Really good deal. Cool truck. All right, let's go ahead to the Oarsman Dodge. Let's go do a little walk around here. How the hell I get in this place, I have no idea. It's very confusing. Okay, this is it. Yeah, so many years ago, what a fiasco. I mean, I'm not going to take the time right now to talk about it. Let's go ahead and go in. And there's a mega cab. I had that exact truck. And I had bought that exact truck here many years ago. Yeah, that's a story. But anyways, let's go in and see if we find the sales guy and see what we can do here at the Oarsman Chrysler Dodge Jeep. Okay, so where's a parking spot, right? That's always the challenge. Always a challenge trying to find a parking spot at these places. All right. There's a Ram TRX way back there. Huh, interesting. All right, here we are. Sync lock. It did. Here he is, and they got a Grand Wagoneer right here. But this is a 2022, so I'm going to drive the new V6 Hurricane motor. That's what I want to drive. But this is the base. This is not the Grand Wagoneer. And that's what I'm talking about. So 2023, but what motor does it have in it? It has, yeah, so actually it has a Hurricane motor in it. So actually this wouldn't be bad just to drive for the, so they're trying to get a little bit of money out of this thing too. So they're doing an ADM on it. Yeah, it doesn't hurt to try, does it? There's a Wagoneer over there. All right, so the gentleman here at Oarsman Jeep Chrysler of Woodbridge, Virginia, just got the brand new 2023 Grand Wagoneer with the Hurricane motor in it. Correct? And the gentleman checked to see if anybody wanted this vehicle ordered. At the moment, no, which has apparently hit the lot. And we're going to take a look at, this is the Grand Series 2, right? So what's the big difference from the 2 Series to the 3 Series? Do you know? Is it a difference in an air ride suspension, or the 2 Series has an air ride suspension as well?
This one doesn't have an air ride suspension. So
it does?
It does not.
So the 3 Series has the air ride. So that's where it separates itself.
Excuse that it's a little dirty. It was just a secondary line.
Yeah, well, I'm not so worried about that.
Sorry, it actually does have the air ride suspension. I guess I was wrong.
I was going to say, I would think the 2 Series would, so it does have air ride. Okay, good. I would think that the Cherokee would be the separation of the airbag suspension.
The Grand Cherokee or the...
What I'm saying is, so the Cherokee, like you have the white one up front there, I would doubt that has an airbag suspension.
Well, some of the newer Grand Cherokees do. So the 2023s, if you get like an Overlander or something like they do.
No, I'm talking about the Wagoneer. So I'm I'm being wrong. The regular Wagoneer.
The regular Wagoneers won't, but the Grand Wagoneers won't.
Right. Okay. So I was misinforming you on what I was talking about. Okay. So not shabby, not too bad. So once again, what do you know that separates the 2 from the 3? Do you know? What? I mean, the 3 Series is like 10 grand more. So what do you think the 3 Series has over the 2 Series? What's your gut instinct? The rear entertainment package, even though I think I see one back there, right?
Where?
Well, do you have, is this a little screen?
That's going to control your rear climate. So the rear entertainment group would be usually on the back seats over here.
Which I don't want that, but that's probably what the 3 Series has.
So as you go up in trim levels, it's typically what optional and lower trim levels starts becoming standard in the higher trim levels.
Okay.
Same thing for the Grand Cherokees versus Summits versus Overlands, or the Wagoneers, Series 2 versus Series 3.
Right. So overall, for the most part, the 2 Series and 3 Series, it's all the same vehicle. It just gets the amenities in the vehicle.
Exactly.
Okay? Yeah. They just get a little higher end. All right, so can we drive this?
Of course, yeah.
And so I want to probably give you my license and all that stuff. So all right. First off, vehicle, it's kind of a little subtle. I wish it had a nicer interior. I'm not excited with the interior. It's nice. I mean, it's not going to show the dirt, but the color of the vehicle and all, it's all right. Nothing great. I prefer a better color. But today's about driving this car, and it's about getting to know if this new V6 twin turbo Hurricane motor is really worth it. So let's see if the PDI lets you do the remote start. It did. What's interesting is some reviews, I've just seen a few, the people kind of get on the page of the exhaust note. But I just think to myself, when you're buying this vehicle, it turned off probably because it has, there goes the Trackhawk probably, or SRT8 Jeep Grand Cherokee. When you buy this, I just can't see the driving force of me buying this because of the exhaust note. This is a luxury car, and I don't know, but it's interesting. You hear people kind of talking about that, and let's see this here. Let's see if the air ride suspension goes down. This is what's so cool about the Ram and other products. And does it do it? Yeah, it is. So it's slowly going down. So I don't know if having the car on and doing that would be better. So to go even further, I think that's it right there. So I think this, but that's really cool. I give my Ram trucks, I really like that, how they had a suspension lower on it. All right, so now let's go ahead and get in the car. It's got low fuel mileage, so I'm sure that's why it's not going to keep on running. So I think the interior of these vehicles is just so nice. I mean, it really is. Wow. So this is such like the Highline vehicle, and so my guess is not much gas. Yes, we're 17 miles fuel level. So, all right, this is the second time in the vehicle. Last time this vehicle was last fall. I think it was like October, I think. And I touched drove on Leesburg Dodge, Dulles Dodge. So right now, let's go to the auto. Let's get this to auto. So we got our temperatures. Let's see if it's too confusing. No, that's good. Okay, so that's good. Simple. Sometimes the technology of these vehicles gets overwhelming. We got it in auto on the sport modes here. You can turn the dial there. That's kind of nice. We'll drive low. So right here, this just shows you here how you can get in and out of the different modes. That's interesting. Rock. I don't want rock. So I wonder if it did that. So I wonder how you get out of that. See that? Look at that there. So I went to rock. We don't want that. Okay. So the suspension's going down still. Do you feel that? You see that? How it's lowering it? All right. Got a guy right behind us. You got a tag in this, so don't worry about it.
No, this whole road is dealership road, so we don't need to tag. Unless you want to take it on the highway, then we can get a tag.
Well, for me, I just don't want to feel the thing. See, what I'm concerned about is, here's my concern. It's a new V6 twin turbo Hurricane motor. So for me, what does this thing drive like in the new V6? Because the 6.4 is, you know, the muscle motor. So for me, yeah, I mean, this is all about me coming here today because I really want to drive the vehicle.
Let me go grab a plate and we can take it anywhere you want.
Yeah, okay, because that's what, you know, that's what this is more about today. It's really about me seeing if this V6 twin turbo with this size vehicle, you feel like you still got the ump, or you feel like, we pump backwards.
I got you. Let me go grab the tag real quick, throw that on,
all right.
and we get to go.
Yep. The different, look at all this, the seating positions. I mean, just, jeez, it's great. Over here, look at this here. I mean, what do I even do? Okay, so I feel that. All right. I wonder what that is. Seat goes back even further. You have the electronic steering wheel. Of course, you can have all the auto. You got your pedals to go down, back and forth. You got here's your auto, your park. So this thing, let's put it in park. I talked about this yesterday. So that the brake is now officially on. There's your big navigation. My understanding is now somebody over there can be watching their own thing. That's my understanding. I don't know if that's factual going down the road. Here, I guess this is what is this right here? I mean, so many functions. You want to go back up? Okay, this is raising it back up. Yeah, okay. Not worry about that. Let's see here. Here is your little area for your phone. Okay. There's the big, you know, does this have like heat or air conditioning where you can cool things down? I guess so. It has the moon roof. All right. What if this has the rear view, you know, camera? Nope, it doesn't. All right. So when I go to reverse, where does it go? Okay, there it is. So huge on that. All right. Seats. Oh, massage. Definitely want the massage. How do we do that? So on. Oh, wow. So there it is. Low. Go to the seat. Oh, wow. That's pretty cool. Extend. Wow. Yeah, that's really cool. I mean, that stuff right there. This makes such a huge difference. That's what I love about the Ford. Ford was one of the first to bring this out, as far as I know, in their Platinum series, that they brought the massaging seats. That's something that drove me to Ford, just for the relaxation factor. So over here, I'm going to grab over here, but there's nothing here. So in order to get my seat up or back, oh, that's memory. I don't want that. Look at that. Why did it do that? I hit that button, which I don't like that. No, forget that. Somebody have to change everything. I don't understand that. That there? What is that? I have no idea. See, this is where just the technology, it just overtakes you. And then the heat right now, the auto, this thing is so like hot. It's too hot. I mean, right now, I don't know. Interesting. Okay. So now look over here. See your mirrors right here, left and right. Okay. There you go. Okay. Then over here. Okay. Cool. All right. I want to go. I keep on going over there. Oh man, don't do that. All right. So just, you know, what's interesting is this top button. What is that? It must be something else here that I think I remember right.
Which top button?
There's this top button here. So you go to the top one. Nope. Below. Middle. What does that do? There it is. Oh, it's this one right here. It's the top one. It's the very top. That's what that is. Now I see. So, yeah, okay. Got that. Okay, all right, got that. All right, good deal. All right, so we're going to go back her up. Don't run anybody over. does the parking brake come off automatically? I talk about this on my YouTube channel. So I put the parking brake on. Okay, brake's on. Okay, so now I go to the car. Does it do an automatic release? Yes, I love that. It drives me crazy and how so many manufacturers out there have these e-brakes. And on the e-brakes, they make you manually, you know, take it off. And what's even cool, you can program this car. Like I've had the Ram, latest limited Ram, and you come to a park and the car eventually just puts an automatic e-brake. But a lot of manufacturers don't have that, which is it's so stupid. You have an electronic brake. Why wouldn't it be an electronic thing that turns off and on? If you know what I mean. All right, so going left here. And do we need to get gas, or are we just going to keep it simple? What are we going to do? You got 17 miles to empty.
We can stop by gas. So if you want to go left over here, I'll show you where to go.
Okay. And this just literally hit the lot.
This one just hit the lot. It was out of the secondary lot right now.
Right. And so as far as your website goes, for your location here, this is on the Grand Wagoneer 2023 that I know of that you have right now. Is that right or wrong? Or do you even know?
That we have. I know we got 2 other ones, but they're both orders. That's why I had to check if this one was an order or not.
So they're special orders.
Special orders, yeah. Custom orders.
Right.
Customers.
Okay. And every now and then people pull out of those every now and then, right?
Now and then, yes. They do back up.
I mean, do you know what colors they are even? Or you didn't really even look? Because
well,
it's just
the colors,
really...
I know this one is the Walter Gray. There's another one that's silver, but that's 100% sold. And then I believe the other one's silver as well. I'm not sure if that one's backing out or not.
All right. So here's what's going to be really interesting about this new V6 twin turbo Hurricane motor is so far for me, power feels really good. But do you gain the fuel mileage? That's one thing that I've been a Mopar Jeep guy for so many years. And my concern with the 6.4, it's going to be a gas guzzler. So the reason I've held out for this Hurricane motor is my thoughts are this is going to get 2 to 3 miles per gallon more. What does your gut instinct tell you? What would be your thoughts? 5, 3, same? Who knows?
I would say around 3 to 4, but so a test and trial. Obviously, they showed it on the window sticker, but
what does the window sticker even say? I don't even know.
Checking right now.
It's right behind me. You could probably look and read it backwards, right? It says 17. But what does the 6.4 say? Do we even know?
I think the 6.4 is probably going to say a good chunk less.
I would say it's 14 or 15. Would that be your guess? So right now we're at 18 miles per gallon. All right, so the gas station we're going to is up here on the right, the Shell station, or where are you going?
Yeah, all the way up to the right.
Okay, all right.
So this one says 17. You were right. Regular one's going to say 15.
Okay, so about 2 mile per gallon. This could be a 3 mile per gallon vehicle spread, maybe. What's the highest though? 17's average. What's this showing on us on the highest? Like 19, 20 on the highway?
20.
Really?
So it's showing 14 city, 20 highway, and average is 17.
Okay. And versus the 6.4, what's that show? Probably
13,
12.
13 and 18.
Wow. So a good 2 mile. This could be a 20 mile per gallon vehicle. My wife, when she drives these cars, she somehow finagles. She'll get like an extra mile per gallon out of these damn things. When I drive them, it doesn't work that way, but somehow she does that. She rolls down the road too. She's not like a putt-putt. All right, bud, keep your lane. So we don't want to kiss the Jersey Barriers today. That's not our idea. So far, I said in my last video when I did a review on this vehicle, it's a 6.4, just an incredible. I've owned the Range Rover, Land Rover highest edition vehicles and all, so I've had all the Highline cars, Mercedes, and so this here, this really does radiate just such incredible Highline quality. This vehicle by any means, somebody lost something today. What'd they lose? Part of their front bumper. I'm assuming the gas is on the left. So we'll go up in here and do that. Let you do your thing. All right, so now, once again, nice so far. Really, this thing just radiates quality, radiates just really high-end, nicely well-built, just really refined, just really nice. I'm kind of disappointed that it doesn't have a little more of a flair to it. It's too bad the interior didn't have that. I like that tan or the gold. I don't know exactly what color you call it, but I really like that a little bit more. And somebody's looking for me. You gotta be careful here. Get all distracted and blah blah blah. And what's going on? And yeah. So, anyways, so far nice. But once you get on the road, I think we get a little bit better a feel for how this thing performs. So that's what we're gonna do. Follow me along here. It doesn't. What's the follow me along thing? I can't. I mean, even for me, it's like, what a goofy saying. Follow me along, like you're behind me. All right. So here in the mirror, it looks like your home link. Okay. What's really interesting here is when I go here, this here. So what? Can you actually control things from here? I don't know. Interesting. All right, looks like we got her. Looks like we're good to go. Looks like the adventure begins. Yeah, I mean, I think it's interesting. You're saying just a limited amount of reviews in this vehicle, this new Hurricane motor. I think it's really interesting how some of these individuals, they're trying to get the throaty exhaust out of this thing. I'm thinking, I just don't know of many people buying like a Highline vehicle that's really looking for the exhaust note. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? I mean, I don't really see.
For a Grand Wagoneer, that's not the main concern.
I don't think the average person's coming to look at his vehicle looking for a throaty muscle experience. I think you're looking more for a refined, elegant, quiet, smooth, well to do vehicle. But the guys that are on the YouTube channels that are doing some videos on these things, they're totally talking about how the vehicles, doesn't have that throaty 6.4 engine note. We going right here? We're going to go
right, and then another right at the left.
So, so I think it's kind of interesting. It's like, okay, well, I don't think this is. I think you're looking at the wrong car. I think you need to be looking for that used Trackhawk or the used SRT Jeep. You know what I mean? So we beat that lady up. How about that, Mom? So, all right. So far, kind of getting into a little bit. I don't think this is like the Fords. Like Ford has different drive modes where you actually have different settings that actually open up the vehicle to have a little bit more performance. I don't think this does.
No, this is just going to have different 4x4 modes that we were playing around with.
So the only thing you're going to, I don't know. We do have that. We do actually have that. Look, we got a sport mode. So let's go to sport mode. So sport mode, does it open up? So right there you go. So here we go. So the sport mode definitely just now, I think, opened up a little bit more energy out of the motor. And I would assume that the suspension now is just a little more taut. So it's a little stiffer. So that is pretty cool. So this does have your different modes. And I could actually feel in that auto to sport, I did kind of feel like the engine kind of came a little bit more to life. That's my theory. I have the Ford vehicles, and I never even knew this stuff. I was driving for years. Then one day a guy at work for me, he's like, have you ever tried the sport thing? And I'm like, not really. And I put it in sport, and I'm like, whoa, what's going on here? It's a whole different animal. So just so you know, this is something that does it, I think it opens up the engine to get a little bit more power out of it, but then it's going to take away your fuel mileage. So people are going to be like, no, I'd rather be an auto because I want to get that better fuel mileage. I don't want to be in that fancy performance. So that's good to know right there. That's a good thing. And the auto leveling, my understanding of these vehicles is you get to a certain speed, and the vehicle then starts auto leveling itself to be a little more aerodynamic. And if we want to go in slow speeds, my understanding is that we would then use this to raise or lower the vehicle, but at X amount of miles an hour, 40, 45, wherever it may be. That's how my Ram trucks were. I used to have the low leveling systems on them. I would notice after I lowered it or I raised it really high, once I get to a certain speed, it automatically overtook and put the vehicle back to the standard setting, which is pretty cool. And I love this stuff. What's interesting here is this here, what is this doing here for? Oh, so that's a heated seat.
So heated seats, ventilated seats, heated steering wheel could also.
Okay, steering wheel, right? That's really good. It's easy access.
And then those could all be accessed on the side, and then you can click on comfort, access it here as well, and then your massage chair settings can be accessed from down here or up here as well. Yeah,
which I love this. This is what took me to Ford. So many years ago, I got rid of all my Mopar products because Ford was one of the first to do the massaging seats and adaptive cruise. The Ford trucks were like years ahead of Ram. So back in 2017, 18, I totally dumped all my Ram products and Jeeps. I went to Ford because they had the adaptive cruise, which again, on this here, I can already see that. So I guess, it's ready. So let's go ahead and set it. Okay, there we go. And there's our different variations of closer, far away, a little bit more. But does this have what Ford calls the Blue Cruise? Does this have hands-free driving? I don't think this does, but I have no idea. I'm not that into depth on this vehicle doing total research.
The lane departure. So if you slowly
Yeah.
start moving into another lane and someone keeping your lane, it's not going to drive it by itself. And
Right.
It will start shaking a little bit and just keeping your lane.
Yeah.
So that attached with the adaptive cruise control, I guess you could say is somewhat close to it.
But that's a good point. Does Jeep even cross the bridge to do what Ford and GM have done of a hands-free driving? I don't think they have. I have no idea. So for General Motors, they have the highway cruise, whatever they call that, in their Cadillacs. And then for the Fords, they have what they call the Blue Cruise that has the hands-free driving. I've owned the F-150 Lightning truck. I've had a few of those. And also all the technology of where you can drive down the road hands-free as long as it's a mapped road. And the same thing with the Cadillac. I'm trying to think what they call the Cadillac one. So I'm going to hit the 95 North real quick to get a little bit of speed up.
Yeah, of course.
And I know this whole area. I've been here since 1980. So I used to drive tanker trucks around here, delivering fuel and all. So anyways, what's interesting, I never really even thought much about this on this vehicle, or even the Jeep Ram product. They haven't crossed the bridge yet to open up the actual self-driving. That's interesting. I mean, am I right? Do you know? If you don't know, I understand if you don't, but I don't think they have.
Well, the most that they've done is just the lane departure and the adaptive cruise control. So
Right. Some manufacturers just don't want the legal repercussions.
Yeah, of course. And then when you come to like a stop you're trying to park, it does have self-park capability, but not self-driving.
Okay. All right. Yeah. So far, nice. Definitely a nice ride. Quiet. Seems to get up the road. Kind of breaking the engine in. Don't want to get really too crazy on it. Seeing how it does on there. Okay, so I got to set it cruise right here. So yeah, so I think now it's gonna just be quiet. And there's a guy being a wild man up there. So, but the Grand Wagoneer, I've owned so many Grand Cherokees, I got to get the Wagoneer language in my mouth. So the Grand Wagoneer, this vehicle here, the 3 Series, I wouldn't think the interior deadening sound would be any different. Would you think?
No.
I would think that the 3 Series with the more plush leather and more accents and more flair, I don't think this vehicle is going to be per se any different.
Yeah.
Just going to be the flair. To me, the 3 Series is the flair.
Yeah,
You're going to get you're going to get that elegant looking seats, which I like those a lot. And what's usually the turnaround time for ordering any of these? What's the
So ordering from the day you order to the day of delivery is averaging somewhere between 3 to 5 months.
Is it getting any better though, being that you're seeing?
It has been picking up compared to before. Sometimes before they would take up to 6 to 7 months, but it has been coming slightly quicker now.
Right. So exiting off, kind of feeling the brakes. A lot of vehicle. You can definitely tell this is a big vehicle. I've owned a lot of Suburbans. Mm-hmm. I've owned Hummers. I've had a vast array of vehicles throughout my life. And yeah, this definitely gives you that, big footprint presence as far as the way this vehicle feels. And as far as the braking goes, yeah, brakes I feel are good, but you definitely feel it's a lot of vehicle. You can just, feel that this thing's got a big footprint as we roll down the road here. And so the speed, I can feel from the limited time I drove the 6.4. So this V6 twin turbo, it definitely doesn't feel like you have the same grunt, even though this does have the higher torque. Mm-hmm. So this has more torque. And I think where you kind of get the feeling that it doesn't have the same is because of the way the engine sounds. Because you're hearing more of that traditional V6 kind of engine versus, I'm kind of getting into a little bit here. And yeah, I mean, she gets up the road fine. But the V8 is going to give you more of that throaty noise. Uh-huh. But as far as what I just experienced getting up the road in this, it's more than enough. So let's go back to resume. All right, which I love the adaptive. I've had the Blue Cruise in my Ford F-150 Tremor, and I have the Ford Mustang Mach-E GT, electrified cars, and the F-150 Lightning trucks. Have had 2 of those, and it's freaky. It is so freaky when you go down the road and you just have no hands, and a vehicle, steers you down the road, and you go through these corners, you go through the Jersey barriers. I mean, it's like, ooh, yikes. And danger is, I took my F-150 Tremor truck to Florida, and the danger in that is you fall asleep. Because the truck is driving itself. What's so dangerous is it gives you the way if there's infrared in all different points of these vehicles that are watching your body and your head movement. And what's unfortunate is if you're kind of relaxed, the body position doesn't throw off that you're not paying attention, because you have your sunglasses on, so it's not really following your eyes, it's following your head movement. So if you're kind of like this and you kind of start nodding off, it does nothing. It doesn't make a noise. Or what's even more scary is the adaptive cruise and the hands-free will cancel itself if it gets into an environment. More so, the hands-free will cancel itself if it doesn't know the mapped area that you're on the road, and it doesn't really tell you that. So you're oblivious to the fact that your hands-free, or I should say, your hands-free is turned off. It's very, I mean, I'm waiting for the stories of people crashing these cars, because I've owned them. I've witnessed what happens where you're so comfortable in the vehicle, and then all of a sudden you're kind of like, wow, the hands-free's off. I didn't even know that. Or, holy crap, the adaptive cruise turned off. I mean,
this one, for example, this one would turn off your massage seats after 20 minutes just so you don't fall asleep. You have to keep on turning it on after every 20 minutes.
Oh, really? Yeah. Wow, that's interesting. So, for the Ford product, it doesn't do that.
Yeah, for this one, every 20 minutes, it's going to automatically turn off.
Wow, there's no setting for you to override that in the computer. Wow. Well, that's kind of, but I would think that's to a disadvantage, because you would think that your adaptive cruise is on. Because what happens, I know how to manage the adaptive cruise. So I know how to keep it on and still accelerate. I have like the Ford ST Explorer. That car was such the most incredible adaptive cruise performance vehicle I've ever owned. I'm talking speeds going down 95, where in the car would just bing, bing, bing. You could just, and I knew how to maneuver using my foot without touching the brake, and the car just itself knowing how to go between cars and slow down on its own without me freaking out. It was the most incredible driving car I've had yet with adaptive cruise. And so the danger though of this turning off, for me, I use my foot. I still use my foot.
The massage seats will turn off. The adaptive cruise is going to stay.
Okay, so I misunderstood you. Massaging seats turn off. You know, it's interesting you say that. Ford used to do the same thing, but then no longer. So Ford's massaging seats. So I totally misunderstood you. And I have hearing aids, so I don't hear that great. So you know. So you're saying the adaptive cruise only stays on until you override it, or there's a whatever situation arises. So here's the thing. I probably should have taken that, or should I guess we can go down to the Potomac Mills exit and then come back up.
Back around there,
Okay. So. Okay, well that's good to know, because I was going to say wow, but yeah, the massaging seats, and we have to think to yourself, why did Ford go to full-time massaging seats when they used to be what you're talking about? They would turn off after X amount of minutes. Wonder why? Wonder what's going on. Is it the thought process of, okay, so let's kind of give a little mileage here. So let's hear it. But yeah, I mean, for this big a vehicle, you know what? I've run the brand new Suburban, the GMC Denali package. I have run those guys, the brand new ones. Those things rock. Those things. I had a 392 Gold Rush Challenger, manual transmission. I was down in Florida, and I'm not lying to you. I ran a Suburban guy down the highway. That guy hung with me. That 392 really couldn't take that guy. I was blown away. That guy was in a full-size Suburban, or I should say, the Yukon Denali, full with his kids and wife, and we're doing things down the highway, and I'm like, this is unbelievable that this guy here is hanging But the Dodge Challenger, but see to me, the 392 manual Challengers, they're slow.
Oh.
They're slow. You need the V8, torque flight, automatic, 8 speed. Those things are so much faster. This is the right exit, correct? Okay. So those are so much faster and more fun than the manual. The manuals to me are dogs. So we're going all the way down and loop back around, right?
Loop back around.
At the next exit. So I usually always exit right up here, just so you know. I barely ever go to where you are. I'm sorry?
Do back there.
Well, I rarely hang out down this area. I've got business all over the area, and I rarely come down. I used to just live down this area, but I just don't hang out as much down here. So,
What do you do for work?
I service